Contact High with your host, Dave.
Today's guest, Pharm's Exotics and Extracts.
What's up, everybody? Wednesday, and usually, that means contact high. Getting back into the swing of it again. I know I said that before, but hey, you know me. I like to fly by the seat of my pants in life, and nothing changed about that now. So, we got a guest that I'm going to be meeting with you guys, because that's my favorite part about doing this is meeting people as you meet them and stuff. And as always, you guys can have, if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, post them. We'll put them up. We'll try to get to as many as we can. You guys know me. I'm not a stoner, so sometimes the questions that should be asked kind of slip through my non-stoner mind. So that's where you guys come in to help me out to make sure we get everything we want out of the guest and all that happy stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up our guest who's wearing a mask because for his identity's sake, but Pan from Pan's Pharm, Exotics and Extracts. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing all right. Same old 420 just passed, and we did a live show. So this week is a week of getting back into the swing of things, especially for those guys. I actually didn't get to make it, but they went halfway across the country. So it's like getting back into it thing. So
yeah, I was supposed to go, but some things got kind of caught up and moving and all that different stuff. So I'll be going to the next, I guess there's going to be a show in July in Maryland because it goes recreationally legal in Maryland for July 1st.
Yep. Yeah. That one, I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'll be definitely, I said I'll bring my kids and send them to the beach if I have to,
Yeah, I'm actually from Maryland, so hopefully I'll be able to draw a crowd too.
You're good to go. So, but anyway, yeah, so I wanted to get into it. I'm pull your picture up here. So want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your company, and everything like that?
Yeah, man. We started. We have a distro in LA. I'm currently in Florida. Just outrageous dispensary prices. People sometimes being denied for their med card, which doesn't happen very often. But at the end of the day, the shit's just medicine, man. And I'm just trying to help people get their medicine. And, there's other things like, these magic mushrooms that are starting to go legal in states now too, that I've been saying for 10 years.
Yeah.
That they're saving people's lives, honestly, even like saving people from doing hard drugs realistically. So I just want to help people get their medicine.
The hard drugs that are being prescribed. It's crazy how.
It's all government tactics, man. It's all control mechanism. And the reality of it is they took the stuff away from us that God put on this earth for us to use as medicine and put synthetic stuff out there that's making people die, unfortunately. So
yeah, I'm a non-stoner, but I've always been like on that side of things ever since I was a kid. So it's funny how weed, though, it kind of opened the door for all these other things, because you didn't hear anything about mushrooms until really, really recently. Because everybody's like, they were wrong about this, and started really pushing the issue on the other things, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know it. And I didn't know it for a long time, but mushrooms have there's over 40 different strands of mushrooms that have different reactions, just kind of like weed in a sense, but even way different than weed. It's the spectrum of different reactions that your body has on them. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. All this stuff's been around forever, but because what this type of thing, you couldn't really, we didn't really know much about it. So, so you do you say you have distros? So are you again, if I ask stupid questions, I apologize. Is it like, do you have like brick and mortars, or is it online only, or?
Yeah, so we have a big warehouse out in
Mhm.
LA. Couple of partners. I have a couple of different warehouses that I deal with, and basically it's we get it to where it needs to go.
Yeah. Okay. So they can do, and they can online. At the bottom, guys, scrolling is the link tree to all of their all the Pans Farms, Facebook, all that stuff. You can go there and look at. Oh, and yep, here's the QR code as well. You can go there and look, see what they got, see what they offer. Like you were saying too about it doesn't happen often, but it doesn't need to happen often for somebody to not be able to get their stuff because their car. It just needs to happen once. My stepdad went through it, and weed was the only thing that really kind of helped him, and he was getting the pain medicine and stuff, and it wasn't doing anything. So if one person has to go through what I seen there, then
Well,
you know,
just to kind of give you a little, story is like my son's mother actually, calls me last week and she's like, hey, she deals with anxiety and all this different stuff, and it's the only thing that helps her too. She's just like, they just lowered me from like I think it was like 21,000 milligrams down to 10,000 milligrams over a month. And when you're used to being able to get it whenever you want, to
yeah,
being, your supply cut, it's like, why? I mean, this isn't hurting anybody when you're out there.
yeah, yeah. With the pills, I mean, with the pills thing, that's what they did, and that's what caused a lot of people to go heavier with that. Luckily for this, I mean,
Well, that's what ended up shooting up the that's when heroin started to spike
mhm,
again, and all this fentanyl stuff spiking is when they
yeah.
decided to cut everybody back from 180 to 120 in a snap of a finger. And it's like,
My wife's dad recently passed away, and he was literally the poster child for exactly what happened when that happened, because he put a nail into his knee, and the rest was history. So, yeah, I mean, and it's all people making up the numbers that don't really know what the hell they're talking about. It's like anything with that. It's kind of arbitrary. They just kind of decide based on, it's all like numbers and stuff, but every situation is different. So, yeah, it
absolutely.
sucks. So, having it and able to get it elsewhere is always a good thing.
For sure.
So you started, what made you want to start doing this? Was it because you noticed that, the high prices and all that, or was it like something different?
I've been doing this realistically since I was 18 years old. So we're talking about what, 16 years now. So I mean, yeah, I've been doing it like that. Met a couple of guys, from our hometown, and they have a big underground, basically underground like pop up. So basically, like there's 15 to 20 vendors that go and set up
Mhm.
at a time, and I wanted to get involved in that, but then I just realized, how much they were really, profiting off of it, and I just
Yeah.
decided, stop doing so many of the underground shows and do my own thing. I'll pop up every once in a while, but I'd rather just stick to my drop shipping.
Yeah. And you said something, because it's funny, because it's how I got into doing this type of thing. Is you met a couple of people that are like minded and stuff. It's crazy how that's all it could take. Like if you met a couple people that maybe were into something else, you would have went a completely different route. But this is the way you went. It seems like, um, it's working out for you. But I imagine, especially what you say, 16 years ago, you've been doing this 16 years.
Yeah,
How do
man. I
you-
mean, I've been, dipping and dabbling for 16 years. It really started to like get more legit. Probably about close to 2 years ago is when I started branding myself.
Mhm.
Realistically, more in the past year. It's picked up more, but I was just tired of giving out like the regular Ziploc bags. Everybody
Yeah.
wants that cool looking Mylar bag, or whatever it's
I
coming in.
still, I think there's something to the Ziploc bag still, though. because everybody has the Mylar now. So like, I think you'll see eventually someone's going to go back to that, like, just like you used to get. But I know what you're saying, but, so for
realistically, it's all about branding and marketing because, when this does go recreational, I want to already have a brand pretty much built up to where people already know who I am.
Yeah.
Bit,
So you said only in the last couple of years you started branding. So for 14 years, basically, you were
bags.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I know that. So the red tape now is crazy. So the things you probably had to watch out for then is like, is nuts. Is it easier now that you're legit with it, or I'm sure there's some parts that are easier, some parts that are harder, obviously. But what's the big difference, I guess, between when you were doing it like on the hush hush and when you're kind of building it into a brand now? Like, I imagine the possibility of getting caught and getting arrested is probably the big one, but
well, I mean, that's always a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I mean, we're still in a state where it's medically legal, so it's not recreational. So that's why I have to be careful in the things that I do. But realistically speaking, it's becoming, where they're not as concerned about this stuff. They're concerned about the stuff that's killing people, and that's really all they should be concerned about, anyways, in my book.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I see this. I see Florida going recreational in the next election, which is coming up pretty soon. So everybody get out there and vote, even though I don't think our vote counts. But at least you can say you voted for it to be recreational.
So now that you're so I imagine there's an excitement to it. I always told everybody, like, drinking was more fun before I was 21, right? Because when I was 21, I was like, oh, you're allowed to. So in your situation where you were kind of doing it, and it's like the rush of maybe getting caught and stuff. Now that you're, again, you still have your issues with the state you're in and stuff. Is it more like an office job now, or is it still the same rush you get from doing it the way you were doing it before? Do you understand what I'm asking? Sometimes
no. I mean, I feel you. I've never really gotten like a super rush out of it. It's just, to me, I'm somebody who likes to help people, and that's in all aspects of my life, even in my other side of my life where I'm not paying, it's all about, helping people. And I hate seeing people in pain. I hate seeing people with addictions. I'm a former addict as well. And there are certain things that the THC and the psilocybin has actually helped me a lot with. So, and a lot of friends as well.
I guess I didn't mean rush. I meant like the boots on the ground exchange. So there's something about that, as opposed to like now. I imagine now it's a lot of like, when you start a business and stuff, everybody I know, at least, it's like a lot of the office type stuff, and it's not more boots on the ground.
I'll tell you, there's definitely a rush when you go to a pop-up for the first time, and all you see is 20 vendors with 5+ pounds sitting on the table, and you're just like, how did this happen? And I honestly, I don't even get into that deep. I think they got people that they're paying off and things like that. But but I mean, there's definitely a rush when it comes to, walking into an armed security event where you're just posting up everything you got.
And is it still like all cash type thing too? I know it was.
I mean, realistically with me is more like a Bitcoin type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do accept cash. It just makes the process a little bit longer, cash in the mail, and
I know these guys were just saying at their event that they did at the comedy club. There was a comedian that said, "I've never been to a place where weed was so openly sold," because it was, it's a 420 event and stuff.
Right.
And that made me laugh that he was, it even caught someone like that who goes all over the place off card that, how open it is now compared to what it was. I'm sorry, can you, I'm going to pull this back up. Let's see what that said. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Doug said that's why I like this community so much. Even being a non-stoner, like I'm accepted as one of them, but it's always a mindset of help the person next to you,
Yeah, for sure.
not just kind of everybody's on their own type thing. So, is it like that? So, is it like I did construction for 17 years. Is it a dog eat dog thing, or is it do people kind of bushy? I know, like around here with the other people that go lives and stuff, we all kind of help each other, with the little things. But you're running a business as well, so I imagine it's a little different. But I just noticed in the cannabis community in general, it seems like everybody kind of tries to lift everybody else up.
Yeah, I mean, when we go to like the different pop-ups and stuff like that, everybody's, kind of supporting everybody, kind of
Mhm.
like, everybody wants to see what you got to
Yeah.
offer, and everybody brings something different to the table. It's just, those are the people in our area who have just decided that they're getting ready for the rush to come here
Mhm.
with the recreational, and they just want to build a brand. And I know some of them, they do it full time. Like this for me is just a part-time gig. Like I do it full time, but I do other things as
Yeah.
well. But there's some guys that literally travel up and down the coast, all the way up to New York. I have one of my buddies. His brand's called Bag Boys, and he literally travels from Florida all the way up to New York and just does pop ups for a living. And I'm like, man, that's intense. Like,
Well,
literally.
it's funny. You just did exactly what I said about, like, you just said somebody else's company, like for everybody here, you didn't have to say the name, but you did. That's what I mean. I think when it comes to like this community of like, you made sure to say his name too. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I put other people's names out there. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't like, post their sites and stuff. Everybody's got their
Obviously.
own
Mhm.
verification type stuff. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
realistically speaking, when we deal with people, I mean, it's serious. Like we there's definitely some very much, some verification process that you have to go through. It's not like you just hit us up and we're like, yeah, we'll work with you. Like because
Mhm.
we need to know somewhat of who you are.
So Melissa asked, how do you get info on the pop-ups?
So it really depends on where you're located and who you're plugged in with. Basically on social media. Like I said, I don't typically go to the pop-ups very often anymore.
Mhm.
I have a bunch of friends that I'm connected with through social media that will post stuff all the time. I don't typically repost it because I'd rather people go through me than go through the other
Yeah,
brands.
of course. Of
But
course.
if I ever like once in a blue moon, I decide to jump inside of one of the pop-ups and I'll post that information out there. And if you happen to be following me during that time and
Mhm.
you see that information, then you'll go meet a bunch more vendors besides me.
Yeah, so you got to find one person that's doing it and then follow them, and then you'll reach Valhalla basically of everybody else doing it. But
Pretty much.
yeah, I guess it's kind of tricky. You can't post it too far ahead of time too, right? I mean, it's a pop up for a reason, so it's not like you can say like,
So it's put out there, like, oh, it's known that it happens every, well, typically, well, when I was doing it, it was on Tuesdays and Fridays. It was Taco Tuesday and Fill Up Fridays, and basically, there's two guys that run the show. As one of the biggest guys where I'm
Mhm.
from, started the Swamp Woods brand, kind of off the backwoods, kind of
Yeah,
flow, and him and his partner decided to start it up, and they have basically a secret location, and you get the address. Like, it's a ticketed event. You have to have tickets to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Armed security, and basically they shoot out the address to even the vendors like 2 hours before, and then the people that are coming to the event an hour before the event, and it only goes for 3 hours and it stops on the dime.
Yeah. So it's like, because it's all everything, bureaucracy takes time. So you kind of have to do it that way. They get a little sniff of it happening ahead of time. So it's basically if you know type thing. I know restaurants do that a lot, not for the same reason, obviously, but sorry, I got to turn that thing on silent. I don't know how to work these things. So with going kind of, I hate saying the word legit. It sounds weird. I mean, you've been doing it forever, so legit sounds like demeaning to me. But since doing it the way you're doing it now, after
when I started marketing it legitimately,
so marketing. So how has that been? Like, is there a learning curve to that? Because that alone is, when you're doing it the way you were doing it before compared to now. Was there a learning curve, or was it kind of like you got a knack for this thing?
Well, I'm in sales and marketing in my other life. So
Okay.
realistically, it just came down to finding something catchy. And, everybody loves Disney, my favorite movie, when I was a child, was Peter Pan. And, I like the flying aspect of it. So it's,
Like, I can tell you, when I saw your the Pharm logo and stuff, it reminds me of Peter Pan. Always reminded me of like being a kid forever. So it's like your inner child. You're gonna it's like you smoke it and you go off in the never and have fun with it. So that's what immediately popped into my head when I saw it. So
on some of my stuff, it says, "I'll teach you how to jump on wind's back," and away we go. So
it's if you're gonna pick a Disney character, that's the one to kind of go for. It'd be weird to do like I don't know. I'm terrible with Disney characters, but you know what I mean. Like
I got a secondary brand that will probably launch as well, because obviously in business, having one entity is not as good as having two. Mm-hmm. And so the one that I'm working on right now, it's called Infinity and Beyond Exotics, and it's based off of Toy Story. So
nice.
Yeah. So I just like the play on words, and
Oh, dude, I'm a play. Everything I do is a play on words. All my dad jokes. All my dad jokes are play on words. I do it to my kids all the time.
Right.
My son, literally, he's 9, and he literally goes like this to me all the time, because I'm always playing with words when it comes to them. So I get it.
Right. And I mean, it originally started out as Pan's Farm with an F, like thinking like farm and grow, like things like that. But one of my buddies we were just hanging out, and he was like, "Dude, you should do it with a PH, like pharmacy,"
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Dang, dude, that's actually a really good idea."
It goes better visually too, because it's the P with the pans, it's
Peter Pan.
Yeah. So do you like doing it? I guess this is a question you probably can't answer, because it would be. Do you like how you're doing it now better than how you were doing it before, or is it like? I'm trying to was it easier before than it is now, or is it easy, or is it like just kind of a mixture of both? You know what I'm saying? Do you like it better doing it the way you're doing it, or did you like it before where there was no like actual red tape or whatever to deal with?
I think it's so much different now than what it was in the past. There's so many more people that are accepting of it now. Nobody really questions it. My buddy has an underground brand, but he, actually, I don't even know how he did it, but he partnered with a legal dispensary. They wanted like his brand to be like tied up with him. So maybe I'll get there one day, but I think it's going to go recreational before that. My real dream is, and it's always been this, I actually thought about this a long time ago, is I want to open up like a smoker's bar, instead of that where a bar people, typically go drink.
Yeah.
A bar where people can go chill out and smoke. And, I want to have like infused hors d'oeuvres and basically, just bud tenders and all of that. And
Yeah.
it'll be called the Happy Place.
There'll be a lot less bar fights.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot less bar fights, but yeah, that's the main goal, is just to have a spot where people can just chill and get their medicine. And, once this goes legal, is the next step is going to be for the mushrooms to go legal as well. I think that's already starting in some states. I know in California, they're testing those waters. Colorado, I want to say it's legal in like 6 states right now for the mushrooms, but I personally think that those even help me even more than weed sometimes. So
everybody's saying it. It keeps popping up, and it's almost like the universe telling me to try it. 'Cause I deal with anxiety and all that stuff all the time. But
I literally deal with major anxiety, and bro, I'm telling you, it will change your life if you just even microdose.
Yeah, I think that's where I'll start, and then I'll see where it takes me.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't want us. There we go. I got you. If you want me to send you some,
we'll talk after this. I think so. A lot of people I know that start businesses, okay, like in construction is what I really have to go based off of.
Right.
I worked in granite for a long time, and their biggest complaint was when they started a business, they don't do the thing that they love to do anymore, like the granite part of it. It's all the paperwork. Do you get enough of, because you said you like helping people and all that, it makes, do you get enough of that with doing it the way you're doing it? I'm sorry, does that make sense? Like, so they have to do a lot of the paperwork and stuff. They don't really get to get their hands dirty. I imagine you have a whole system of how you do it. Do you get enough of what you got before, like you said, with giving somebody who needs it what they have, because you're not directly kind of handing it to them?
I mean, there's select few people that I do deal with hand in hand. Like I'm sure there's people on this right now that I've dealt with personally, because Bean has sent some people my way that are, solid people, and I'm sure everybody on here is solid. It's just I don't really want to meet everybody,
We try to weed out the non-solid people as quickly as possible. So. So you do some of it hand to hand. So you're getting enough of that. Like, I'm doing something good here.
I feel like I'm doing something good on everything
but I just mean like hands-on. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those guys say they miss actually doing, going to the job sites and stuff. So that's what I meant. So you're getting enough of the of what it was before.
I kind of like the new way of doing it though, because like now I got like a full-fledged menu type deal, and like that wasn't like what it was before. It was just like, oh man, who's got weed?
You can't put a marquee out front.
Now it's like, okay, well I got edibles, I got Rick Simpson oil, I got literally any type of product that you can think about getting, carts, disposables, if you get from like low grade to 4,000 a pound type stuff. Like it's a lot more. I would say it's more hands on, just not more hands on now. It's just not. Okay. It's just not like full frontal.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that way, because that's kind of what I meant by it. Like I said, it's hard for me to kind of get, but I'm seeing it now. I get what you're saying with that. So I said this all stuff. I'm learning this as I go. As like all these, I know so many things now that I didn't know 6 months ago.
Oh, I bet.
Hanging out in this group.
I'm sure. But yeah, no, it's been like real fun. I like helping people, and cryptocurrency is definitely like the way of the future.
Hmm.
I truly believe that even the American dollar is about to go digital, which I'm not too happy about that because I think
Yeah.
that's just a control thing. But with decentralized, banking, and there's a there's actually a new social network actually coming out, it's that I just recently jumped on. It's a decentralized central network or decentralized social network, and
Hmm.
it's basically like you can actually like be paid for not like you people are going to be getting paid big time dollars by getting involved in it early.
Hmm.
But what is it called? My God, uh, Noster. So it's like
Napster without the P.
it's hashtag
Oh,
NOSTR,
and okay.
hashtag NOSTR. And like it's completely decentralized. So it's not like you
Mhm.
can just go to noster.com,
Yeah.
it's through like for iPhone users. I actually just got involved in it today, and I think it's going to be big for especially our community. And I guess the iPhone iOS is Damus, so it's DAMUS is the iPhone app. I'm not sure what it is on Android, but I think it could be really big. Um,
It's kind of like a pop up on the internet because you said it's just hashtag. There's no like, it's one of the. It's like the internet's pop up because you said there's no, you can't go somewhere for it. You have to
yeah,
hash.
you have to
So
find different channels to get to it,
yeah.
type deal. Do I think Bitcoin will end up? So I have a lot of friends that are super, super deep into Bitcoin. I'm somewhat, involved. I don't sit there and all day trade, but I do have, a lot of friends that do. And I 100% think that, Bitcoin, it's going to take another dive for sure. There's projections of it probably by December, maybe potentially hitting 10 grand again, but it's definitely going to shoot right back up. It's by probably 2030, it will probably be around 300 to $350,000 per
Mhm.
Bitcoin is what a lot of my buddies are projecting. I have a buddy who's been involved in Bitcoin for since 2011. So like, and it's serious when you got big time money with Bitcoin. Like he literally had somebody like break into his house and was like trying to find him, didn't take anything from his house. They didn't want anything. And
You know what was in here, or passwords and shit. I imagine.
they wanted that key. Like he literally knows, like he literally has like DMs with like McAfee before he
Yeah.
died, like straight up talking to him about, different cryptocurrencies and stuff back in the day. And I'm like, dude, like that's crazy. Like he knows a lot of people that have just basically just disappeared, like it's like wild. So I don't
Yeah.
want to get too deep when it comes to that stuff, but I definitely think it's the way of the future, and it's the easiest way to send a lot of money at one time and
Yeah.
and not be too tracked. They are tracking it now, but
That day trading stuff, I could see myself getting lost in it because it's like a game. It's like a game. When you're playing a game, you want to do a little better than you did before. So when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like, man, I'll start looking at it a different way and it'll take over. So I kind of stay away from things that I think I'll go down a rabbit hole on because I got a whole family here that they already want to wring my neck half the time for doing my dumb art projects and stuff. So if I get into another thing, I'm screwed.
oh man, no, it's whatever gives you a spiritual release, bro.
Yeah, no, I got enough of that. That's why I said doing this and the fire in the hole in general is that for me. So I always say it all the time. They're probably tired of hearing me saying it, but it's the thing that kind of unwinds my crazy. Sometimes my crazy gets all bunched up in there and it helps unwind it and unravel it. So
Yeah.
I imagine too, you made a whole business out of it though, too. I mean, that's what I've noticed too about this industry is like in the construction industry, you can see people that hate doing what they do, but they knew the business would, they could start a business with it. You don't see many people in the cannabis community that don't like, or that are not passionate about cannabis, unlike the silent people at the top now that it's becoming, you got the people investing or whatever, but the people that you don't meet too many that are like, I don't like this shit. I'm just trying to make some money.
Yeah, no, not typically. No, I mean, typically everybody, does it for a reason. Like they love it.
Yeah.
They've loved it for a long time. It's not something that you just do. Like you don't just start tomorrow. Like it's, people have been doing this for a long time, and
Yeah. It's not like you got to get out of bed and do this shit today. It's more, yeah.
Like I get to get out of bed and do this shit.
So yeah, you say you have a day job. So is that what it's like? It's like you're at the day job kind of thinking about after work when you get to go home and do this thing that also, you're building into something, but is it different? The dynamic there different from going to your day job and then going and doing this?
I typically, it's all and most of it's, internet based, like decentralized chats and stuff like that. So like I talk to people all day long, even in my regular job. So, you send me a message, I'll respond.
I got you. So you push. I wanted to say that. I didn't say that earlier because I got lost in thought. But yeah, the Pan's Pharm, it's PH is for Pharm. In case I know that ticker's going across the bottom, but I know my eyes are terrible. But just in case it's PANSPHARM. So, like I said, their link tree is right there. They got every single, however you want to get a hold of them, it's there. And so it's up to you. You don't have to. You can just say they can go to it. Do you want to like give us a little bit of what you offer? Like I know there's some people. My brother's into like dabs and stuff like that. And there's people that are into certain things. Do you have like, is there something you specialize in, or is it like kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that? We kind of got it all type thing.
Yeah. Basically any THC product that you can think of. And shroom products as well. Realistically, think like we got dabs. We can get anything from shatter to crumble to diamonds if you're really into spending a lot of money like that. We got anything from lows like low quality depths to like super high end like licensed stuff.
Okay. So you can accommodate anybody, everybody who comes to look, you can accommodate something for what they're looking for. It's not a specific. That's basically what I was getting at. See, if you have your high end people, you have your low end people, so you can kind of everybody will find something that they like when they look.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm trying to. I'll probably eventually be starting like an online like a true website, like where you can just go and like order like different like bongs and I don't know if Facebook allows us to say that or not.
Trust me, we say way worse on here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have I know that I've been watching you guys for a while, and I will have a waffle for like some things coming up here soon, like some Puffco devices and polka dot. It's polka dot. But yeah, I got
not silent.
Yeah, I got shots. Yeah, I can get those. I got the polka dot bars, gummies. I just got this new brand called Uptane. They're brand new. Nobody really has them yet, so hopefully those will kick off pretty good. Whatever you need, loose shrooms. I mean, you name it, I can get it.
I'm sure too. We could talk after we go off here, and we can probably we'll do something to. You just said about having a waffle. We'll do something to, even if we buy it and kind of do a giveaway or something to,
Yeah, for sure.
If you were nice enough to come on here and stuff and talk about it, we'll further that by letting somebody win something you offer so they can see, firsthand about, your stuff and what it's about. So
Actually, I don't know.
this is a little after we're done here. Just kind of stick around for a minute. We'll talk.
Little Pan's Pharm, little Puffco. It's not. Damn, this thing. It don't.
Yeah, it's the green screen kind of.
Yeah.
If you want shoot into the messenger, take a picture of it, send it in the messenger.
Yeah,
We'll pop it up. We'll pop it up on the screen so that everybody can see it. So that the green screen's not really messing.
I actually think Bean has it. I sent him like the one that I'll probably be giving away already. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
No problem.
But
guys, in the comments too, like I said, you've been asking some so far, but if anybody has anything, whether it be specific or in general, you want to ask or say or whatever, this is as much about you guys being a part of this conversation as it is anything. So if anybody has anything to say or anything to ask, please feel free to. Yes, right here. Joe said polka dot. He didn't put the L in it.
Yeah, it's POLK.
Well, you're from Maryland, so it's a Northeast thing. Polka. It's like PAWKA. Where we're from.
It's actually POLKADOTS.
There we go. So yeah, Beans will. I'm sure he'll pop that up for you then, so you can. You think you do a waffle for it then?
I'm going. Oh, I think I just found it. Sweet. Let me do this real quick. So it will be.
Is that it right there?
Yeah. Yep. And the other side has. Yep. He's got all of them, I guess.
Oh, so that's a custom. That's completely.
Yeah, it's got the branding on it. Obviously that one's used. You can see the water in it, but I'll be purchasing probably a few of them and doing a couple of different waffles for those here in the next month or so when I can find the time to do it.
I know what that's like. So yeah, guys, I mean, go to that link tree and you're doing that through Facebook, or you're doing it through all social media at the same. I
got a Facebook, I got an Instagram. You'll want to connect if you want to talk to me about things. I won't typically talk too much on social media about a whole lot of stuff. Instagram more than Facebook, but realistically, download the app, Telegram. That's a decentralized messaging app where it's all encrypted and all that good stuff.
Okay, but you're doing the waffle through the Facebook thing. So is that where you're doing it from?
I'm probably will do it through Instagram, honestly, because I have more followers on Instagram. I have I didn't really, because with the whole underground market, everybody has an Instagram. So I have a lot of followers on Instagram, but I'll probably do something on Facebook too. It may even be through you guys and just kind of partner up with you guys on a waffle or something.
Guys, go follow them. And I mean, as like you said, this is new for you. So as you grow, I'm sure the things you're doing will grow too. I mean, I know we have. So I'm sure down the road, it doesn't hurt. It can't hurt to follow you. You know what I mean? If they
follow me everywhere, follow me on all social media.
Yeah, it's all on that link tree at the bottom. It's it can't hurt. You know what I mean?
And when I do open up the online smoke shop where I have all the different bongs and stuff like that, that will be on that link tree as well. So I can put stuff on there and take stuff off as I wish.
Yeah, so there you go. You can click that and kind of you said Instagram is his biggest one. So if you're on Instagram too, all that stuff.
But the main thing that you'll want to be on is the Telegram, because that's where the different menus and stuff like that are.
Okay, and is that your main one? That's where you can find everything you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Telegram, guys. I mean, you can see everything that they're offering. So again, I always feel like I sound like condescending or something when I say it. So what, I know you said about the bar and stuff, but when it comes to this, like what's your like ideal situation in the next couple of years? Do you want to like grow to some big thing, or do you like the mom and pop aspect? Are you trying to go a specific way or just grow in general?
I guess I would say that, realistically, I would love to eventually be competitive with like your True Leads and your cookies dispensaries and your, I mean, here in Florida we got to move. I guess Jungle Boys just decided to move down. I know Cookies came down from California. These players in the game, it's just like to get a legal license in Florida to do it. I mean, the lowest person on the totem pole, they're located out in Palaca. I know that. And they're called the Green Lizard. And to open up their whole operation, it was $70 million.
Jesus Christ.
So, I mean, there's, like I said, I don't believe our vote counts. I got some word in on some legislation that, it probably should have already been recreational, but they're giving these companies that have all this money invested into it time to recoup their money that they've invested into it, which I think is kind of bullshit, because if we invest into a business as the little man and, we end up, losing our dollar, nobody's, trying to help us recoup our money. But, there's
COVID. I think COVID opened a lot of people's eyes on how the money makes the world go around. It's not about
there's levels to this shit.
So you basically just want to continue to grow as like a dispensary type thing and get bigger and bigger. I meant like, some people go very specific in what they offer and some people do different things. So that's basically what I was asking. You just want to continue to grow in that way.
So in Florida, basically you can't use like third party anything. So like Truly, their whole thing is they own the grow operation, they own the brick and mortar where they sell the products, and they also own the delivery service.
Yeah.
And basically I've already locked down the name Pan's Uber. So
nice.
When the whole idea is to eventually create an app that, people can just jump on and order their stuff, and the closest delivery driver will be able to bring it to you type stuff. That's the long-term goal. I mean, I don't know how many years away we are from that, but, I want to be one of the top guys recognized in the industry. And, I want to be able to take the mask off like the guys in California.
Yeah. Well, the way to make it happen faster is just be one of them people that wants to do it and that's not afraid to move. It's only going to move slower if everybody's scared to take the step toward doing it or like talk about it even, the more people that are bold enough to do that. I was just thinking as you were talking too, like, I imagine it sucks now because it's kind of hard. You don't really want to grow fast now. Like you can't skyrocket because then that brings a little red flag next to what you're doing. So you kind of have to, like you said earlier, you don't want to deal with everybody, just the solid ones.
Right. I mean, I want to grow, but
you don't want to skyrocket because you don't want to be noticed. Basically, you still want to fly under the radar. And I imagine that can be frustrating then. Right. Because it's like, you're not like, I'm not growing and you can get frustrated or I'm growing too fast. So it's like, you have to stay right in that middle line. Or you damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, everybody that made it out in California took certain risks, a lot of those guys. I mean, right the day that it became legal, I mean, shops were already open, it's risk versus reward type shit. I've been doing this for a long time. A lot of my family has been like, why don't you move to California, or why don't you move to Colorado? And I'm just like,
small fish, big pond. I'd rather be this big.
We become legal here, and I'm trying to be one of the first people that outside of the licensed dispensaries to start something. And And I
Yeah,
know a lot of people that have money. I have a lot of high-end clientele that are all like, dude, as soon as it becomes legal, like you have our investment. So it's
well, I think now too, being patient and staying there is, I don't know if this is a fact, but I know when we were in Las Vegas, there were some real, like the big shops and the little shops kind of, there were good and bad in both of them. There's a lot of like just people haphazardly throwing things together. So you kind of can get lost in the sauce there because there's so many. So I imagine every time a new state opens it, you're going to have more people doing it the right way because they're learning from doing it, not doing it the way the people in the states before them did it. So there's going to be a lot less people throwing them together. You know what I mean? So the ones that are there are going to be the ones, the real ones. So you'll be able to make a name for yourself and not have to have people find you by, going through these other ones that kind of.
Well, I'm all about, I'm building to sell, like, at the end of the day, the goal is to sell. If some big company comes to me and tells me they want to buy my brand from me, I will be more than happy to sell my brand and start up the second one. That's why I've got, the works right now. So
I just meant like in your state when people are starting up now, like in California and Colorado and stuff, everybody jumped into it like head first. Now that it's becoming more and more, you got time to think and you got time to do it the right way. And it's not, there's not so many people that are doing it so that it's going to be a lot more solid than not. So you have to navigate through that. So that's just what I meant by it. California now, I mean, I imagine still there's probably
there's still a lot of red tape with everything, man. Even with these legal states, man, because they need to federally legalize it. That's at the end of the day, there's things that don't hit the mainstream news that I know about that, like last year, there was 6 major dispensaries raided in California. One of them had, I want to say it was like 300 pounds of processed marijuana and like $600 million cash that was taken from them. I mean, that's not chump change. That's over $500 million, that a company literally is losing because the government wants to have their hand in it when
of course.
Just take the damn taxes. Like just back the fuck out and take the taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you're setting them back. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I mean, you could probably make a lot more long run. You're taking a chunk now rather than taking it as you go, and you could, that could destroy them as a company. So you're not getting that money as you go. So
I just don't understand the whole. I don't understand the whole limitation of THC and all this different stuff because it's not something out there like the different pills and things of that nature that your body can only absorb so much, or you're going to act haphazard if you're high on weed all the time. No, I think people can't even tell when I'm high on weed. That's the thing. Like I'm just me.
I could tell when certain of my friends aren't on weed because they're like less with it and shit. You need to smoke or something because you are not like with us right now. But I think what it is with the limitations is it's like when you get in a fight with your significant other and you're dead to rights caught wrong, but you're still like, nope, like I'm not wrong. It's them holding on, like we weren't wrong. We're just letting you guys have this one type thing. Because if they admit they were wrong, it somehow they, lose it type thing. So they're slowly letting things happen and doing it that way. That's what I think anyway. Because if you admit you're wrong, the next election is going to be rough for you. So you have to slowly let things out, let the air out of the balloon real slow rather than just let it fly around the room.
At the end of the day, I'm realistically for legalizing all drugs, legalizing and it sounds horrible to say, but like I'm for legalizing of prostitution, drugs, all that because
I don't think it sounds horrible to say.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your body. As long as you're not getting behind a car where you can't, you can't drive or whatever. As long as if you're not affecting anybody else, do whatever you want. I'm cool with it. Like
it's not just that
a shitload of money on OnlyFans and whatever. Do you like make that money?
it's not even just that. I mean, cartels make their money off of drugs. So if you legalize them, you're going to be able to get them more readily. And not just that, with you said like the prostitution and stuff, like that's a big industry too that people get kidnapped for and shit. And you make that legal, it cuts down. It doesn't solve it, but it cuts down on that as well. So it's more like it's like allowing them to be the Etsy sellers and shit instead of the Walmarts and all that. You're allowing everybody to be an Etsy person. So, but again, like you said, I think that's probably the problem with it is if you let everybody have control of their thing, you don't have control over them. And the prisons too would probably be a lot emptier.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Prisons make a lot of money, but listen, y'all, follow me up. I wish I could stay on longer, but I got some things that I got to run and go do. I appreciate you guys having me on. Diz, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
Fire in the hole. Super funny guys, man. Definitely check them out if they're coming to your city for a comedy show, and I may be there with them. So
we're definitely gonna do more, but we'll keep back and forth in touch too. Like you said, we'll let everybody know when and if you decide to do your waffle and stuff like that, and we'll keep in touch. Obviously, I don't want to keep you any longer. Do what you have to do. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking.
I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Again, that's Linktree. Their Linktree is Linktree/Pan's Pharm, PHARM. You can go there and everything that they're doing is through there. So go ahead and hit them up. I'm gonna like I said, I'm not a stoner, and I'm gonna go and see because I'm interested myself in like all that stuff. I just I like learning about all that and seeing who's doing what. So we'll definitely have you back on too. I'm sure there's as you grow, I'm sure you will, that there will be more to talk about on top of what we've been talking about. And
eventually I'm actually getting set up for podcast stuff. And I know Bean's gonna help me out with all that, but there'll be probably a weekly show with me as well called Puffin' with Pan. So
there you go. Yeah, hit us up with that. We could always help you with whatever it is, graphics, anything like that. We kind of learn to do it all in-house. Like you were saying, you have to be part of everything, doing it yourself. Can't third party it because you never know. But
sure.
All right, guys. All right, man. Do what you gotta do. Thanks again.
Yeah, much love, y'all.
Everybody go follow him, like him, all that stuff. And like I said, next week we'll do this again. I'm sorry. I know you guys are like, yeah, right, but we will. Anything else, Beans? Oh yeah, if you guys have Fire in the Hole merch, take a picture of it, put it on the 5th fan page, and you'll be every single picture you take with an item. Correct, Beans? I'm gonna pull you up just so you know. Every single picture is another spot, right? So if you have a picture with a hat and then a picture with a shirt and then a picture with a bong, each one of those is a spot.
Yep.
So don't take like one picture with all your stuff in it. Send like individual. You can just send however many things you have. Send that many pictures, so he knows to put you on that many times.
Each separate picture is a entry. So, and you're entering to win this flag right here.
There you go. Waving it and all.
You look like a motherfucking stoner pirate.
Hang that from your pickup truck's antenna.
Joe, I wanted to ask you a question. I wish he would have asked before. I wish I would have asked you this a long time ago, actually. But he kind of pointed at it. What do you think a pound of weed costs?
Well, he said he has anything from $4,000 a pound to, and then he didn't say the other number. So I don't know.
So all right. Before he said that, what would you think a pound costs?
So what's an ounce cost?
I don't know.
It's like
just a pound of weed.
$1,500.
15?
Mm-hmm. For shitty weed, right? Am I right?
Around $1,000.
Really? Well, I was thinking because it's like
That's a good guess.
it was like 90. It was like 90 or $100 for an ounce back when that was fucking 12 years ago. But and then 16 ounces in a pound. That's what I just quick did math in my head.
I'm just thinking, what would a non-stoner think a pound of weed costs?
Honestly, if I didn't do the math like that, I probably would have said a much higher number.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, I would imagine you think it's like $5,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the number I would if I would have known nothing about it at all. That's probably around what I would have said because I would have had nothing to base it off of. It's like you're going to buy drugs. Drugs are expensive. This is what like.
And that's a pound. That's a lot of drugs.
Yeah, and really a pound. I mean, pick something up that's a pound. You're like, that's not that much drugs. For drugs, it is.
When you think that it's sold in like grams and ounces, you have that information at least.
Yeah.
A pound is a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's like low end stuff though, right? 1,000 for low end. That's like the regular like.
I pay around 1,000 for the weed that I smoke on the day. That I smoke like fucking a quarter ounce a day of. So I smoke a fucking lot of it. Like.
He's always walking around glassy eyed. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? We got that. I know there was something. I'm not a stoner and I can't think of it. But anybody, if you want to be, I'm starting it. I started it doing like the little things, but if you wanted to be in our little silly music video we're making, you can be. Just hit me up on my Ricky Lott Jr. account and I'll tell you what you need to do. It's not much. It'll take you 1 minute. And you'll be, it's going to be fun. It's more for the fun and for the kitschiness of Beans wanted this person to make this song and the song hit way harder than we thought. Like everybody seems to like it. We didn't expect this at all. So it's more for that. Yeah. So Uncle Bean said hi.
Hi.
So she's ready. She doesn't like what dinner is, so she's waiting for me to make her something else because the restaurant is not closed yet. But yeah, so if you guys want to do it, nobody hit me up yet. So far it's just going to be the people, Dawn, Mess, me. Well, Dawn hasn't even hit me up yet. I'm going to let her know.
We'd love to have some of the fam get in.
And it's a moment in time. It's like a moment, a year from now, who knows what all of us will be doing or whatever. And you can go look back like, that was funny. I remember that. I was right at that 420 show,
Yeah.
It's a nice timestamp.
Also, I mean, like we're going to be Ricky's fucking over here kicking ass, making a bunch of videos and shit, working with these different programs and shit.
I got to talk to you about that.
We're going to be making a bunch of videos. So like, I mean, like, you can get involved in a bunch of the shenanigans we're doing.
I'm
first one.
This video thing that I'm doing is like captured my imagination. So I have so many damn ideas to do. But this music video was like the first idea I had. I told Beans right when I heard the song, I was like, I know what this music video would look like. And it was like day one. Remember that? I wasn't doing anything with the videos, but I said, I can see this music video in my head. And
so the guy that made the song got back to me.
He's not interested in dealing with burnouts. No, I don't know. What did he say?
No, he's like, he was asking me like what kind of music video I was talking about doing, but like I need to get his like number or something that we.
It's hard to explain through a text message. Like
I can explain through a text message, but not through like a third party app where it takes days to respond. Like like I send you a message and you're not going to get back to me until tomorrow. Like that's rough. And yeah, because it is time sensitive. Like I said, I showed everybody the other day the opening for it. Even do that, like the one you were doing as like a parody or something, and then just have him doing it like a music video of his own song.
Yeah, well, I have an idea. I wanted to talk to Bowser too, because I have an idea of doing something for the Bowser video too. So that's floating around my head too. So
are you on the computer?
Yes.
What is this noise I'm hearing?
I saved something so I could put it in the brand quick. The thing I sent you earlier.
Yeah.
For the end of the show. That's what I was working on today, so everybody can see that when it's over. Yeah, that was me clicking the save button so I could put it in the brand. But yeah, I have ideas. But like the newscaster thing I did. I have like 3 more of them I want to do. But if people are actually into it, like I'm into it, like that's only going to make me want to do more and more, and I have fun with it. So, but the music video is the one I think. Because the song, like I said, how this whole thing came is like you quickly paid somebody, the first person you saw, to make you this song and said like, I don't care what it sounds like, and the dude actually made a song that like is stuck in everybody's head. It's stuck in like when I hear if anybody says fire, I'm like fire. I can't type fire without typing it 3 times now. So
the thing is too, I haven't heard it in so long that like when I try to think of it, like I can't even think of the rhythm.
I still have no idea what he's saying in any of the words. I don't know what any of the words are. I just know fire, fire, fire in the hole, fire in the hole. That's what I know.
I can send you the lyrics. He sent me the lyrics.
I don't want to know the lyrics. I don't want the lyrics. I want to sing it the way I sing it. My yo may bone don't tell you. Like a deaf guy trying to explain how to get somewhere. That's how I sing the song.
once he told me what it says, I can hear it perfectly, but it's the names of places, so you don't like I wouldn't have known, like my ear didn't catch it.
Oh yeah. Here, you want to show them our new they've seen the Fire in the Hole Productions one before, but where is it? Here. You ready to see it?
Babe.
Yeah, but that's all stuff I'm doing for this, but there's more. The other stuff, like the parody videos and all that stuff takes time, and it's like, but if I see into that's what's great about Wayne is Wayne's like, hey buddy, you doing this thing? I'm like, yep, now I'm going to. Now that I see you're like, you want it to happen, I'm in. Like I always need somebody to kind of every once in a while if I get, my anxiety takes over or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know if it's gonna. And then somebody like Wayne who's like, no, fuck that, let's do it. I'll help you. So it's always good to hear it or good, it helps.
Some inspiration by somebody that wants to is on the same path as you.
Yeah. So here, I'll show you the new. And I actually messaged you last night. I was like, can I get in trouble for using this? And you're like, nope. I was like, awesome. So here.
Smoke weed every day.
I was going to change his voice, but you said I didn't have to. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to leave it.
Well, you use that voice, that for like a fucking voice changer voice for everything. So you can change it to that, since you use it often. That's like another person in the fucking life.
So the problem is the smoke weed. It's so deep of a voice already that I think I would use it. I don't think you would hear it. I actually have to go high pitch and then low pitch for it to work. But I'll mess with that too. But I do have to talk to you about one of the programs then. But yeah.
All right.
So
that was an awesome show. I hope everybody went over and checked out Pan's Pharm. It's full of wonders, and
I'm hitting him up soon because he told me he was gonna hook me up with some microdose mushrooms, and I've been talking about doing it. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, he got candy bars.
Yeah,
that's the ones that I did when I was on live with you.
Yeah, so I think it's good. I mean, that's good too. He'll be able to say that he was. Me, I'm a talker too. I'll tell everybody. Yeah, I got my first mushrooms from this guy. So
yeah,
yeah. Thanks guys for watching. Like I said, we'll do more. There's no more of the prepping for anything right now, at least. So later.
Fire in the hole.
And now I'm gonna play this for real. Sorry.
Smoke weed every day.